Resort. Call for a free visitor's guide.
On vacation, there are 3 things to consider when selecting a hotel. Location, location, location.
Kissimmee St. Cloud, right next door to the Walt Disney World Resort. Call for a free visitor's guide.
Police in Florida are searching for a pair of Jerry Springer guests wanted for questioning in the killing of a 3rd guest on that show. Ralph Panitz and his wife appeared on an episode that aired Monday called Secret Mistresses Confronted. They're accused of Panitz's ex-wife of stalking them. The ex-wife's body was found in a home shortly after the program aired. It was taped back in May. The spokeswoman for the show calls the incident, quote, a terrible tragedy. Conflict and confrontation are the stuff most talked about on the TV shows this summer, Survivor and Big Brother. Watching the castaways and the housemates deal with adversity and dealing with each other has verged on a national obsession. Joining us now to talk about the impact of Survivor and Big Brother are the contestants. We have Barry Glassner, who's a professor of sociology at USC and the author of the book Culture of Fear. Thanks for joining us. And Matthew Lieberman is an assistant professor of psychology at UCLA. And sociology and psychology really come into the mix here. We're going to look at a clip from tonight's Survivor. This is from tonight's episode, but it really shows how these folks are put in a manufactured environment. Barry, first talk about this. What is the fascination with watching people in what appears to be real danger, but it's really manufactured danger?
Well, I think that's the point exactly, is that we live in incredibly safe times right now. I mean, we're not at war with anyone, you know, we don't really have a big international enemy, the economy's good, most people are quite safe. And so we kind of live vicariously through these shows to a certain extent. That's part of the appeal of them. And it's that we know also that these people are ultimately safe.
And you mentioned the economy in your book as being one of the reasons for the advent of these types of shows, don't you?
Well, for this type of, right, fear-mongering and sort of our susceptibility to exaggerated or artificial created scares and fears, if you're living in dangerous times, you're not going to be very attracted to this sort of thing.
Matthew, focus on the national obsession, if you will. What is happening from a psychological standpoint? Why do we care about these people that in the green room we were all calling by their first name?
Sure. I think we care because we can identify with the situations. They may be artificially constructed, but the reactions that people have to them are very genuine reactions, and I think that we can all see ourselves being in various different situations that are analogous, whether it's the situation where you've had a bad roommate and you have to confront them because they take all your food without ever replacing it. We identify with these things, but there's no script or textbook that we're ever given on how to respond to these things, and so I think we get a lot of value out of seeing other people and seeing how they respond and seeing a lot of the similarities.
We're looking at a clip from Big Brother. Big Brother is part Truman Show, part voyeur, in all of us, really, but there's another element, and that is the internet. And this show is a huge hit because people can watch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Is that an aspect that people find even more enticing than just watching on TV in an edited fashion?
I think we have to divide the audience in two. There are those people who watch primarily just or almost exclusively the half hour at night, and then there are people who are really, really into watching it on the net. I think they're watching different things. The packaged program has lots of conflict. It's really neatly put together. There's a lot of emphasis on the attractive people in the cast. I call it cast. I mean, we call it a real TV and reality show, but they're cast very well. And then the people who watch, sort of continuously, I think, there's a little bit more of a kind of addictive factor to it and really being hooked in more.
Matt, you've seen people even within our studios come up to you and almost sheepishly admit that they're addicted to these shows. Do you consider it an addiction?
I don't consider it an addiction. I think it's of great interest to people. I think we're built to find these sorts of things interesting, and I think because there is a strong national interest in it, I think the webcast version of it, it allows you to sort of put in more time watching it and then potentially pull out a few gems that you might then be able to bring to the water cooler on Monday that someone who's just been watching the prepackaged half-hour version each night won't know about. And so there's some potential sort of one-upsmanship out in the sort of real world.
But what's going on here? When we were kids, our folks used to say teamwork, work together, help your friend, help your neighbor. Here, the element of sabotage really comes into it, doesn't it?
I think it reflects what's going on in the larger society beautifully that way. I mean, we have a winner-takes-all society. This is the way we think, and this is the way we operate, and a lot of the economy that works that way. So, you know, we're sort of rooting for someone, not only, you know, in a sense, it's very much like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, only in the internet sense, right? You know, who's going to come out, who's going to be the one that succeeds and makes the big bucks, and everybody else falls by the side.
But Matt, there's a soap opera element here too, because we're looking at what looks like relationships and romances blossoming, but they're really in a very contrived, manipulative fashion, aren't they?
Well, it's contrived, but so is most of modern life. I mean, we have people sort of telling us what types of things we should have in our daily lives, what are the different elements that make for a sort of healthy adult life, and I don't think that they're doing anything that's a radical departure from that. Survivor might be, to some degree. Just to comment on the previous issue, I think the fact that it's seen as a winner-takes-all competition is something that we all just assume it's the mindset that we bring to this, but the truth is that at this point on Survivor, there's 8 people left. If 4 of them got together and said, let's vote off the other 4 and we'll split the $1 million, it would be done. They would each have $250,000. Doesn't buy a big house in Beverly Hills, but it certainly would deal with a lot of their financial concerns. But no one would ever even think of mentioning this idea. It doesn't occur to people.
No, actually, I think they ruled that out as a rule.
Really?
I think that's a rule of the show, so that they can't do that, because then you wouldn't have the right number of shows. That was something that occurred to me. You know, if it could be turned into a cooperative kind of situation, it would be very different.
Forms, forces really coming here, because the object is to defeat the person who is the greatest threat. We only have less than a minute left. We saw the ratings as we came into this segment. Survivor was #1. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire looked like #2, 3, 4. Where do you see these shows in the long run? Do you think that this is a short-lived fascination by the American public? We see it as a worldwide phenomenon. Where do you see it?
I think, you know, all these are always pretty short-lived, but how short, you know, is the question. And it'll probably, I think there'll be successors to these shows. I mean, they're catching on, and they'll try some more. But if this is still going on 3 years from now, I'm going to move.
Matt?
I think that they've been around since the beginning of time. I mean, this is the Roman Colosseum and the gladiators fighting and the audience voting for whether or not the person is spared or not. I think we'll see these for a long time to come.
Professor Barry Glassner of USC, Matthew Lieberman of UCLA, thank you both for joining us, and we'll see you right after this. Don't go away.
That American beauty of an actor, Kevin Spacey, is 41 today. Perky actress Sandra Bullock is 36. And Rolling Stone Mick Jagger is gathering no moss on this, his 57th birthday.
To perform at your best, you should always start with the fundamentals. And when it comes to the fundamentals of good nutrition, you should always start with whole grain. And when it comes to these leading cereals, only one has 100% whole grain. Only Wheaties. So only Wheaties gives you 100% whole grain nutrition. Now you know what Tiger knows.
Better get your whole grain. Better eat your Wheaties.
Start with the fundamentals. 100% whole grain Wheaties.
The world is a beautiful place, but not when your eyes feel dry, gritty, irritated. Protect them with Refresh brand eye drops. Refresh is no ordinary eye drop. First, Refresh relieves dryness. Then Refresh forms a lasting shield of protection that keeps irritation out and moisture in. So get relief and protection with the #1 brand recommended by eye doctors. Refresh. It relieves and protects. And protects and protects.
I need the new sales figure! What's the temperature in Chattanooga? What is my horoscope?
Sales up 12%.
72 degrees.
Bad time for Libra. You can do a lot of things with SkyTel wireless email and internet search features, including emailing your headhunter. Call 1-800-SkyTel5. Also available at Staples and Office Depot.
Tonight, conservatism in the crossfire. Democrats say George Bush's vice presidential choice, Dick Cheney, is more conservative than Newt Gingrich. What's wrong with sitting on the far right of the aisle? Press and Madeline debate the name-calling tonight, 7:30 Eastern on CNN.
Tonight on Larry King Live, they've changed the face of the world's most exclusive political club and forged friendships across party lines. All 9 women of the U.S. Senate, tonight, 9 Eastern on CNN.
Esterhaus began his career as a reporter for Rolling Stone magazine. He went on to become one of the highest-paid screenwriters in Hollywood, earning $3 million up front for the Sharon Stone star maker Basic Instinct. Now Esterhaus is back in the spotlight, mixing fact and fiction in American Rhapsody, his controversial book on Hollywood and politics. Jody Ross has more.
I thought I recognized and knew Bill Clinton and what made him tick. I understood the ambition, the success, the political duplicity, the Hollywood charm.
One of Hollywood's most controversial screenwriters has a new story to tell. This one about Hollywood and politics, a novel called American Rhapsody.
Do you feel betrayed by Bill Clinton?
Only in one sense. You know, I don't want to judge him, but when he looked at me and jabbed his finger in my face and said,
"I did not have sexual relations with that woman,"
he lied right into my face.
That inspired the book, which offers a comical retelling of the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal, blending fact and fiction.
I think in this case, one of the reasons that I did both forms is because they match, and they are equally startling.
So startling that Esterhaus had trouble finding a publisher.
And the notion that they would have a book which also features a talking penis, I found thrilling.
In the last chapter, it's the president's private part that does the talking for the author, who wishes Bill Clinton would grow up.
Living that way is an insensate way of life that is abusive, especially to women, and also to yourself on a self-destructive level. I don't think that Bill Clinton has come to that realization yet, and what I hope for him is that someday he will.
It wouldn't be typical Esterhaus fare without some celebrity scandals.
You tell a lot of secrets.
Well, I guess I do, but you know, I've been doing this for 25 years, and if I really wanted to tell all the secrets, that would be scorched earth. I think Hollywood people would be relieved that this is all I told.
He tells tales about Michael Douglas, Farrah Fawcett, and Sylvester Stallone.
Let me see.
And Sharon Stone shares her dislike for Sliver co-star Billy Baldwin.
Did she bite his tongue when they had kissing scenes?
Yeah, they had some problems.
In its first week out, the book made internet bestseller lists. Esterhaus thinks that means both the White House and Hollywood get the joke.
I expect to be eating at Spago for a long time, and I expect to get the best table.
Jody Ross, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
Thursday on Showbiz, the nutty Eddie Murphy takes on multiple personalities as the Clumps, and he's riding high on the charts, but rapper Eminem's personal life is a train wreck.
Tonight on Moneyline, Amazon.com. I'm Stuart Varney. How much did the e-tailer lose, and what's with the departure of its #2 man? We'll go live to Seattle for all the news on Amazon.com. 6:30 Eastern on CNN.
I'm Wolf Blitzer. Tonight on The World Today, sifting through the wreckage of Air France Concorde Flight 4590, the first crash ever for the supersonic transport, killing all 109 aboard. What caused the jet to go down? The search for clues begins. Plus, chronic pain. Hundreds of thousands of Americans suffer from it, yet few know of the latest trends and successful treatments. We'll have the answers from the experts. Tonight on The World Today, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on CNN.
Thursday on CNN's Burden of Proof, O.J. Simpson talks about his new website that lets you question his case for a fee. Taking the law to the people online with O.J. Simpson. Thursday, 12:30 Eastern on CNN.
Superior Bank introduces its new Opti-Loan program for qualified homeowners. To begin, you get up to 90 days with no mortgage payments. You receive up to 3 months payment protection against illness or unemployment. And you can take advantage of our Skip a Payment plan to use when you just can't make the payment. If you're a homeowner with too much debt, call Superior now at 1-888-678-7777. That's 1-888-678-7777.
Last year, the Weitz brothers served up a slice of raunchy American pie. Now in the new film Chuck and Buck, they're jumping in front of the camera. Lori Blackman got cooking with these siblings and found out they are Showbiz Today stars of tomorrow.
We've actually been obsessed with sushi since we were teenagers.
I think if I wasn't a director, I'd want to be a chef. That was a sushi disaster, isn't it? This is not good.
We are about to eat the food that Paul and Chris here prepared for us, the Bond Street Sushi Special. You guys are siblings, and very rarely do you see siblings working so close together. Every project that you've done so far, you've done together.
Yeah, somehow when we started working together, things started to click and we started to get employed.
Yeah, we were basically completely unemployable without each other. So the only way to survive was to team up.
In case you haven't noticed, we ants are running this show.
I want to take you back first to start with Ants. Was that your first big film that you worked on?
Yeah.
We've done rewrites and script doctoring on other films before that. This is the first one we got screen credit for. And it really kind of launched us in a way.
Here, just give me this, and let's get this.
Okay, so post Ants, you directed the cult classic American Pie, and now you are making a remake of Heaven Can Wait, called Down to Earth and starring Chris Rock, correct?
Yeah. And it was intimidating at first because, like, with American Pie, it was all these, teenagers who hadn't been in a film before.
17-year-olds we could kind of push around, and they thought because we were in our 20s, we were ancient.
Buck, what the hell? What are you doing in L.A.?
I didn't know you two were actors. A new movie, Chuck and Buck, comes out starring the two of you.
We didn't know we were actors either, but...
I play a guy who's essentially stalked by an old childhood friend. It's kind of a stalker comedy.
I guess that's how you categorize a stalker comedy.
I guess
kind of like a dramatic comedy.
Yeah, a stalker dramedy.
Billy D, Billy D, Billy D. Oh, Billy D Club.
You also co-wrote the Nutty Professor sequel, The Clumps.
Yeah, we brought the homosexual stalker element into the Clumps, which is why they hired us on. I'd like to have a foot in the kind of mainstream Hollywood world and a foot in the independent world, and hope that they don't grow so far apart that...
You rip in half.
Yeah.
Lori Blackman, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
Time's up for us tomorrow on Showbiz. Eddie Murphy wears many hats and many costumes in The Nutty Professor 2. In Hollywood, I'm Jim Moret.
Tonight on CNN Newsstand, meet the spouse of the GOP vice presidential nominee, Lynn Cheney. CNN Newsstand, tonight, 10 Eastern.
This is where your weekend takes off.
True adventure requires an uncertain outcome. There's this tremendous exhilaration.
My greatest fear is the remoteness. I don't have a death wish, I have a life wish.
Join the adventure with National Geographic Explorer. Weekends on CNBC.
Get a NextCard Visa at nextcard.com. NextCard, internet shopping as it should be.
This summer, get an ordinary vehicle and do ordinary things. Or get a Jeep vehicle and do extraordinary things. Thanks to the Jeep Summer Clearance. Buy Grand Cherokee Laredo and get 5.9% APR financing for up to $2,800 in savings. Or lease and get $4,500 in total values if you're a returning Daimler Chrysler lessee. Make this summer your best one yet. Hurry to the Jeep Summer Clearance. It's anything but ordinary. See your dealer during the Jeep Summer Clearance.
Lincoln invites you to sit back, relax, and read between the dotted lines. The Lincoln LS outscored Mercedes, BMW, Audi, and Infiniti to become Motor Trend's first global car of the year. It's just as competitive here. And Lincoln Navigator is now the world's most powerful full-size luxury SUV. One test drive is worth 1,000 commercials.
You're going to need anything for your home in the next year. Plan to be at Standard TV and Appliances Mega Sale. Everything is on sale.
Mega sale prices on KitchenAid, Whirlpool, GE, Maytag, RCA, Zenith, Mitsubishi, and more.
Standard on Southeast 82nd, Tigard on Highway 99, and Beaverton on Canyon Road.
Hurry in now for 5 months, no payments, no interest financing.
Savings that are out of this world. Now at Standard TV and Appliance, the Mega Sale.